Alrighty, hello everyone. Good morning to all of you. My name is When It Gets Bread, and for today, I am again going to go over the Pokemon TCG card game. This is going to be another short tutorial on how to basically start a match and get everything set up. I won't be doing a full match this time in this stream because I have something else to do today, so I'm just going to make this quick tutorial, and maybe I'll do another full practice match later on today, but for right now we're just going to do a quick tutorial. This is going to be like a 3 prize card game. Usually you have 6 prize cards, but just because of time constraints, I'll be doing a 3 prize card match. So before we get started, again from the last video on the TCG stuff, my table isn't being all the way shown. Let me try and fix that better. There we go. Kind of need the top of the table to see. Let me just check if each side can be seen. Let me go and hide chat first. So let me just move this a bit. There we go. Alright, I think we're good like that. And so, yeah, let's get started. So, before you play the Pokemon TCG, you'll want to get a 60-card deck, which will be made out of 20 to 25 trainer cards, around 12 to 15 energy cards, and the rest of the cards will be your Pokemon. You usually want to build around 2 types in the TCG, so you can make like a fire and a psychic deck, you can make a water and dark deck, which I have made here. These are just budget decks for practice. They do not have any Pokemon V or V Maxes in them, so they're just thrown together with some bulk that I have lying around in my room, and they're very good for practicing just to get the rules down and just to experience a match or two, a game of the Pokemon cards. So yeah, you'll need a deck of either 2 Pokemon types or 3 Pokemon types if you're feeling ambitious, and it has to be 60 cards. You usually want to build around 2 or 3 evolution lines. You have your basic Pokemon, which are either non-evolved Pokemon or legendaries or standalone Pokemon, or you have stage 1s, of course, those are the evolutions, and then stage 2s are like your final start evolutions or things in the 3 Pokemon line. And then you also have your Pokemon V and V Max, which I don't have with me right now in these decks because they're just for practice, but yeah, those are basic Pokemon as usual. The V Maxes are kind of evolution Pokemon because you need the V to play the V Max card, but you need a mix of Pokemon trainer items and energy cards in your 60 card deck. As you can see, we have our energies here. Some people like to use special energies instead of basic ones. I'm still getting some special energies in. I still am looking for some, so we'll start adding those into some more serious decks and building a Reggie deck currently, so we'll see some special energies in there. But in the trainer items, you'll get items which you could play as many items in your turn. They have different effects. You also have supporters, so you can't play supporter on your first turn, nor can you play multiple supporters on any other turn, just one per turn. And you also have, let me find one, you also have stadiums, which are basically cards that give like an effect, an area of effect during the whole battle until you get another one in. And they're not in this deck, but you also have Pokemon tool cards, which you attach to the Pokemon. They have different effects as well. Let me try and find one. Let's see. Yeah, like, no, not that. That's not a tool card. I'm looking for a specific tool card in here. Tool cards, you could only attach one to a Pokemon, and they're like items, they just give an effect to that Pokemon in play, so let me try and find one. Here, this is a Pokemon tool card. It says Pokemon tool, it's an item, but you could only attach one Pokemon tool to one of your Pokemon that doesn't already have a Pokemon tool, so those also make up your trainer cards in your deck. Alrighty, let's get started, shall we? Hello, Chrome Nelson. Oh, it's all good. No worries. Thank you so much for tuning in. This one's going to be quick, though. This is going to be a quick stream. It's just a quick tutorial. So before you begin your match, you'll want to shuffle your 60 card deck. There's multiple ways of doing them, and I'm still learning some other different shuffles, like the one I'm about to do, but you'll need to shuffle your deck, so just do that quickly. I already shuffled these earlier, but let's just do them in front of the camera too, I guess. I'm a little messy at that kind of shuffle, but I'll learn how to do it one day. You're actually not supposed to shuffle them face up. You'll want to keep your deck face down, so please don't do what I did there and keep them face down. Please just ignore those. Just going to go like that, so they're a little bit mixed up more. Alright, that one's shuffled. Now let's shuffle this one. Same procedure, face down, and move him around a bit. There we go. Oh, that one wasn't as good, I think, but we could still move him around to get him even more shuffled. Looks like this card is coming out of its sleeve, which isn't supposed to happen. Okay, now just try and push them together. There we go. And we split the difference around a little bit. Like that. Sometimes the sleeves that you use, the deck protectors, are a little bit stuck together because of like static cling and whatnot. They're just not sliding well, so it's kind of a little bit difficult sometimes to shuffle. So, alright, let's just say those are both shuffled. And now let's begin our match. In the usual match, we'll have them to the side like this, but because of spacing and stuff like that, we won't be spacing them correctly. But how you would space them in an actual game is that you would have your discard pile right here. If I was playing with this dark EV deck right here, you would have the discard here, you would have your prize cards, will have your active spot, and behind your deck you would have your bench. And same thing on this side, but just flip-flop, so the prize cards are opposite, the discard pile is opposite, and everything's opposite on this blue deck here, but it's basically the same setup. But right now we're just going to do something different, where I'm just going to flip these over, kind of condense our space. I'll put my benches right here, discard pile will be next to it, but in a real match with more space, where you have a larger table, you'll be able to do the actual layout. So let's get started. So first off, to begin a match, each player draws 7 cards. This will be your hand. You're not supposed to look at them if you're the other player. You're supposed to keep them kind of a secret from the other player, but I'll just show all the hands. 3, 4, 5, 6. We need one more. 7 cards in a hand. And you'll want some basic Pokemon in your hand. Now, we have only one basic, so we have to put a basic as our active, just like that. I'll flip it over so we can read the card text while we're going. And if you have more basics, you'll put them in the bench if you'd like to. It's always a good idea to try and fill your bench with at least like 2 Pokemon, I'd say, just in case your active gets knocked out. And if you don't have a replacement for the active, you lose the match. So you need to make sure you have at least one in your bench. If in the event of where your hand doesn't initially get any basic Pokemon, then you could call a mulligan. You get to draw another 7 after you shuffle, and then the player number 2 will be able to draw 1 more extra card, so they'll have a hand of 8 if you call a mulligan. Then you could keep doing mulligans until you get some basic Pokemon. It's just each time you'll have to shuffle, and then they get to start with an extra card per mulligan in their hand. So we have our hand here. Going to move that to the side. Now we draw 6 prize cards. You're not actually supposed to look at them. That was my mistake. I looked at one of them here. Let's just switch that one. Let's just switch the top and the... because I accidentally looked at that one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 prize cards in a regular game, but we're going to play until like 2 are taken. Whoever takes 2 prize cards, just because of time constraints. The goal of the Pokemon card match is to take all your prize cards. You do that by knocking out Pokemon of the opposing player. So these are 6 prize cards. You could put them in like a fan, I guess, if you want to play like poker style like that. There's our prize cards for that side, and now let's get our hand set up for this other deck. Looks like we have a lot of basic Pokemon here. As you can see, Quillfish. Let me flip it upside down. Sorry about that. These are upside down. So we have a Quillfish and we have an Oshawott. Those are basic Pokemon. I'm going to actually put the Oshawott first. We could actually reveal him. You wouldn't reveal until each player's ready, but since we're on a time constraint, we could just reveal him like that. Okay, so now I'm going to also put this Quillfish on my bench, which is going to be up here. Can't be really seen, but it's just right on the camera. I think it's going to get caught up there. Alright, so this is the rest of our hand for that deck. It looks like Team Oshawott versus Team Hisuian Growlithe. So to begin the match, you'll want to shake hands with the other player. But since it's just me, I guess we're just going to go to the coin flip. So with the coin flip, you'll want either a coin or a die. We're going to be using a dice here. Let me open these up. These come with the Elite Trainer kits. They come with dice that you could use in games. How you do the coin flip with the dice is heads are odd numbers and evens are tails. So I say odds for Oshawott going first. So let's flip the dice. We got an odd number 3, so Oshawott is going first. Right, to begin your turn when you're playing a game, you'll want to draw a card first. So let's draw a card. And now, since our turn is beginning and we're the first one going, we can't attack. When you're the first player going and it's your first turn, you can't attack. You could do everything else except for playing a supporter or a stadium, but you can't attack if you're the first player going ever in a match. So we can attach energies, though. We could attach an energy once per turn. We could use a Pokemon item card. You could use these as many as you like during your turn. You could use, you could place Pokemon down on your bench if you'd like to, as many as you'd like during your turn. And I think, yeah, I'm going to attach this pot helmet to our Oshawott here. You could do that as well. And then once you're finished, you could say pass. That's going to let the other player know that you're finished. So let's go to turn number 1 on player number 2, which is going to be Team Hisuian Growlithe. And since they're going second on their first turn, they could actually attack. So we draw a card to begin our turn. Looks like we've got a fire energy, so we're going to probably want to attach that to our Growlithe. Let's get that going. Alright, so now we could also use an item if we would like to. This is the Gutsy Pickaxe, and the trainer item cards, it's just about reading the text and following them. So reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a fighting energy card, attach it to one of your benched Pokemon. If it's not a fighting energy, then put it in your hand. Okay, so we don't have any benched, but we did get a Hisuian Arcanine, and now I think we're ready to attack because we don't have any benches. We can't play supporters, nor can we play some stadiums. Alright, so for Hisuian Growlithe's attacks, we have this one here, Defensive Posture, which is a free energy. If there's not a filled-in bubble like how there is right here, that's just a clear bubble, then that means you could use the attack for 0 energy. Usually energies are needed to attack. Like if we wanted to use Bite, we need a Fighting and any other type of energy. It could be Fighting and Psychic, Fighting and Grass, it doesn't matter. We just need a Fighting and a Colorless. But on Defensive Posture, we have that empty bubble right there. That means we could use it without attaching energy. So let's use Defensive Posture. Flip a coin. If heads during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks. Okay, so we need an odd number. Oh, fell again. Alright, it was a 6. So that means we don't prevent any damage to it. So, right, that was our turn. I think this is our hand for that deck. So, turn number 2 for Team Oshawott. Right, so we pulled Hisuian Overquill. And we also pulled we also have a Daywott from earlier. We could actually evolve the Oshawott into Daywott if we'd like to. And now, I think we have enough energy. I don't want to play this. I could evolve the Quillfish because you could evolve as many Pokemon as you'd like during your turn. You just can't go Oshawott the next turn, Daywott, and then Samurott right after. You have to have a turn in between. So we can evolve this Quillfish into Overquill, but I'm going to be 1 card in your hand, and I don't want to be in that situation, so we're just going to keep that Daywott on there, and we're going to attack. We're going to be able to use Razor Shell because we have that dark energy, and it's a colorless attack right here, 1 colorless, so it could be any type of energy. We just need 1. And I'm going to use Razor Shell, so flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 20 more damage. It's tails, it's on a 2, so we're just going to do 20 damage onto the Hisuian Growlithe. So another thing to use these dice for is the damage counter. So a damage counter of 20 would be 2 dots. Or you also have these ones that actually have the numbers marked. We could use those too, but I just have those right now. Those are over there. So 20 damage on the Hisuian Growlithe. Once you attack, your turn ends. So go now to Team Growlithe. We draw a card to start our turn. Now we have a Magma Basin. We could place this Magma Basin. The stadium will affect both players. Once during each player's turn, that player may attach a fire energy from their discard pile to one of their benched Pokemon that are fire type. If the player attaches energy to a Pokemon this way, put damage counters on that Pokemon. So right now we don't have any benches, so we might save that for later. And instead we might go and evolve the Hisuian Growlithe into Arcanine. And we might attach an energy to it. I'm thinking of fire energy to this big old doggo. There we go. You'll see later once we get to use that attack. And since there's not really anything else in this hand that is particularly useful right now, I'm going to play this supporter. Now, you can only play supporter once per turn, so let's go and play this supporter, Professor's Research. This is a deck staple that sometimes you'd see in those bigger decks and those ones that go off to tournaments. You see Professor's Research because you get to discard your hand and draw 7 cards. So let's use Professor's Research. He's going into the discard pile. All of these are going to the discard pile. We draw 7 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so it's our new hand. And let's see if we can attack. So I think we could use Boulder Crush if I remember correctly, so that's going to do 50 damage, but we have that pot helmet. Now you need to always take into consideration all the different effects of items or stadiums or Pokemon abilities when you're about to do damage. As you can see, this pot helmet says if the Pokemon this card is attached to doesn't have a rule box, it takes 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. So, Daywalt doesn't have a rule box, it's going to take 30 less damage after applying weakness and resistance. So we have 50 coming in, minus 30, that's only 20. So we need 2 damage counters. There we go. Alright, so that turn has ended for Team Growlithe. We draw a card, and now on to Team Oshawott. We have these 3 cards still. I'm going to go and play the Switching Cup. So this is going to the discard pile. Let's read the Switching Cup first before we go. Switch a card from your hand to the top card of your deck. Okay, so I am going to switch the Silene out with the top card of my deck. Oh, look at that. It's another Silene. Alright. Okay, so that's a Silene for a Silene. Alrighty, now we could attack again using Razor Shell. So let's go and use Razor Shell to end our turn. So flip a coin. If heads, let's attack this 21 damage. And it's an odd number, that means heads, so we do 20 plus 20, that's 40. So we need to change this to 60 because we already have 20 damage on it. So 60 on the Arcanine. Alright, Team Oshawott's turn is ended. Let's go to Team Arcanine now. We get a fighting energy. Looks like we can't really do anything else. We can play Professor's Research again, because my hand is just full of stage 2s and stage 1s, and all of this energy is going to be good. But before we do, you need to do these things in the correct order. Why don't we attach another energy to our Arcanine so we could use its attack? So we could use that bottom attack. And now, since we really can't do anything else with this hand, we already placed an energy, we could use Professor's Research again to discard this hand and draw 7. So we're going to also take away the Professor's Research, and now we're drawing 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, sweet. So we got some new basic Pokemon. We got a Moltres. That's a basic Pokemon even though it's a legendary. And an Axew. How cute. We could also play a Stadium if we would like to. We just have to do everything before we attack, because once we attack, our turn ends. So, Old Cemetery Stadium. Whenever any player attaches an energy card from their hand to one of their non-psychic Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. Okay, so there's a reason why we want some damage counters on the blue deck specifically. Some of their attacks of specifically the Moltres it will do increased damage if you have any damage counters on it. So if we attach an energy to the Moltres, we'll put some damage counters on, and then if we sub it in, then we get a boosted attack, basically. It depends on the card. Some of the abilities also have something like that, where it depends on the damage counters. There's even items sometimes where you can move the damage counters from one Pokemon to another, and so forth. So, alright, I think we're finished with everything we wanted to do there. So let's go and... let's put that in the middle. Let's go and attack with this bottom attack here. Let's just confirm we have enough energy. Yes, 2 fightings and a colorless. That colorless is a fire. Scorching Horn says, if this Pokemon has any fire energy attached, this attack does 80 more damage and your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. Alright, so we're hitting it with 160 minus 30 because of the pot helmet. That's 130. That's going to be a KO on the D-Watt. So our D-Watt's going to get KO'd. It's going into the discard pile. All cards attached to it are going into the discard pile. And now this actually also goes away. It stays on there. And now we bring up one of our other Pokemon. So before we start Team Oshawott turn, we bring up the Quillfish. And also on Team Arcanine, we take one of our prize cards because we successfully knocked out a Pokemon. So we got a Fire Energy. Alrighty, so Team Arcanine's in the lead because they have one less prize card. Alright, so now it's Team Quillfish turn. And we got another Silene. Let's use a Silene, actually, because flip 2 coins. Put a number of cards up to the number of heads from your discard pile on top of your deck in any order. That could be useful. But I think I'm not going to play Silene, because my hand is very small right now. I'm going to evolve the Hisuian Quillfish into Overquill. And if we read its attacks, there's something very interesting going on. Tormenting Poison. Now, Poison is one of those special conditions. Yes, the special conditions are in the Pokemon card game. There's different ways to play them. And if I find the rule book, which I did have up here earlier, there it is. We could read a little bit about the special conditions. Also, it's a free energy attack, so that's pretty nice too. So here's the page on special conditions. And Pokemon Checkup is something that's in between the turns whenever it switches to another player, where you just check on the Pokemon's special condition. The only way to get rid of some special conditions is to retreat or to move to the bench. And if a Pokemon is... let's see... the only special conditions that prevent Pokemon from retreating are the sleep condition and paralyzed. So Poison, we could still retreat and get it healed if we'd like to. When a Pokemon is poisoned, put a poison marker on it. We have one of those poison markers. This is just specifically for poison. And during each Pokemon checkup, put a damage counter. Alright, so we're going to use that Tormenting Poison just to see how that effect will change the thing of the battle. So, Tormenting Poison. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During Pokemon Checkup, put 5 damage counters on that Pokemon instead of 1. So, effectively, that's 50 damage each time we have to do that Pokemon Checkup. So now, the Arcanine is poisoned, and we're going to put 5 damage counters on it, because it's in Pokemon Checkup, it's in between, it's like a transition zone between the different players. It's in between each player's turn, so now it has 110, so it's only at 40 HP left. Alright, so that's the end of our turn for Team Overquill. Let's go to Team Arcanine, let's draw a card. Oh, nice. Heatran. Alright, now we could attach an energy, we could play a supporter. So I think we should play an energy. You'll see why in a little bit. And I think we should attach it to either Moltres or Heatran. I think we should attach it to... let's attach it to Moltres. Right, so since we attached that energy to Moltres, we will need to put 2 damage counters on it because of the old cemetery. Right, now I think we're good to go, and let's go and attack. So we're going to do 160 damage to burn it. So that's going to knock out the Hisuian Overquill. We take a prize card for Team Arcanine, and it's another Moltres. But we also have Pokemon Checkup to worry about. So that's going to be, again, 50 damage. because of the poison. And now we have 160 on 150 Pokemon, and that Arcanine is also KO'd. So both the Arcanine and the Growlithe, both the Arcanine and the Overquill are gone. They've been KO'd. Alright, so those go back. Team Overquill gets to draw a prize card. It looks like I forgot to do that, so sorry about that. 3, 4, 5, 6. I forgot to set up the prize cards. Please don't do what I did and forget during an actual match. That's my bad. You're not supposed to forget about doing that, but I did. Just slipped my mind, so let's take one of these prize cards, put it into our hand. Alrighty, so now our turn begins once we bring this up. Hisuian Heavy Ball. Alright, so let's use a Hisuian Heavy Ball. Look at your face down prize cards. You may reveal a basic Pokemon you find there and replace the Heavy Ball with it. And if you don't find it there, you just discard it. I don't think we don't have a basic Pokemon, so we're just gonna have to discard that. And it looks like we're really short on Pokemon right now. I'm gonna bring up this actually. Alright. So we're really short on Pokemon in our hands, so there's another way to do. We need to still shuffle our prize cards. That's also part of the Hisuian Heavy Ball. Need to move these like that. Sorry about that. Okay, so I also have another trick up my sleeve to try and get some cards back into our hand, or at least into our thing. But the Silene, I think I'm just gonna go with it. I'm not gonna do that with the Silene yet, but we do have Hisuian Basculin, and it has a free energy attack called Gather the Crew. We're able to search our deck for 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto our bench, which could be useful and could prevent the game from ending. Alright, so let's search our deck for some basic Pokemon. I am going to put down... Let's put down a... Let me try and find it. I know it's in here. There's a basic Pokemon I really want to play, and I think it's still in here, because we didn't see it. There we go. I want to put an Absol, and I'm also going to put... Let's put a... You know what? Let's put this... No, let's not do that. Let's put Hisuian Quillfish on there as well. So those are our 2 basic Pokemon. Now they're on our bench thanks to the Gather the Crew attack. And now we just need to shuffle this. I'm going to be right back with the shuffled deck, because I need more space to do so. Alrighty, deck is shuffled, and that's the end of our turn. So we found 2 basic Pokemon on our bench, which is good, so now the game might not end very quickly. Alright, so Team Axiu's turn. Let's go and draw a card. Start our turn. Okay, so now I can place an energy. I could use a supporter. Let's see. Let's place an energy on this Moltres. Or no, let's put that Moltres down. Let's put this energy on the Heatran. So we need another damage counter because of the old cemetery. And... wait. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just set it for later. We can't use that attack yet, but we can set it up next turn. So we're just going to say pass. Alright, so now it's Team Basculin's turn. Let's go draw a card. Let's see. We could use Gather the Crew again just to shuffle our cards if we wanted to, but yeah, please. Yeah. Yes, please. Okay, so can't really do anything else. We could shuffle again using Gather the Crew if we'd like to. But I'm just gonna say pass as well. Let's go to Team Axiu again. Alrighty, now we could do something interesting on this side. We have the Gutsy Pickaxe. Again, we saw this earlier. Reveal the top card of your deck. We put it in our hand because it isn't a fighting energy. If it was a fighting, we could attach it to one of our bench. Since it isn't, we can't. Alright, so now I am going to attach... Let's see. I'm going to attach a fire energy to this Axew. Or wait, no, let's not do that. I take that back. Let's attach it to this Moltres. And we'll need another 2 damage counters on it because of the old cemetery. And I think I'm finished. I'm going to pass. I was going to set up the Axie, but I'm actually waiting for something. Alright, now Team Basculin has these cards still. Alright, so now I'm actually going to play Marnie. Marnie is a great supporter. Sadly, it's going to be out of rotation in the next few months, but it's a very staple supporter for most decks. One of my friends, I credit my friend in saying this, when in doubt, play a Marnie, and this is why. Each player shuffles their hand and puts it into the bottom of their deck. If either player puts any cards on the bottom of their deck in this way, you may draw 5 cards and your opponent draws 4. So it just basically clears the board with your hand. If it's horrible, if you know your opponent has some crazy things in their hand, well, now they're going back into the deck. So let's play Marnie. We don't really have anything else to play, so let's put a Marnie. We're going to put these down at the bottom. And now we discard this Marnie as well, actually. And now we draw 5, 3, 4, 5. Alright. And our opponent does the same, so Team Axew is going to put these at the bottom after shuffling. And we're going to draw 4 instead of 5, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. We still haven't used our attack on Team Basculin, so if we'd like to attack, we're alright to go ahead and do so. I am actually going to, let's see, do the retreat cost. I don't know if I should do that or not. Let's see now. Let's put an Oshawott down, I guess. Yeah, let's put an Oshawott down. And who doesn't need damage counters? Let's see. I'd say I'm going to actually switch out the... I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to put this energy card so I could explain something else. We're going to put an energy down on the Basculin, but we're not going to use it for the attack. No, we're going to use it for retreating. Now, retreating will switch your Pokemon with something on the bench. All you have to do is just discard the retreat cost amount. So, as you can see, it's a colorless, single colorless for the retreat cost. So that means we're going to discard this water energy, and now we can switch it for one of these. I'd say let's switch it for the Quillfish because of its free energy attack, so we don't have to worry about it. Alrighty, so now we have our Quillfish. We also actually have to put 2 damage counters on the Basculin. I forgot about that. And now let's use Quillfish's attack, which is Spiny Rush. So flip a coin until you get tails. His attack does 10 damage for each of the heads. Alright, so we need odds. The more odds, the better. Oh, we got tails on the first try, so that wasn't very good. Alright, now Team Axew's turn. Let's draw a card. Another Axew. Let's use... I really want to attach a... Could attach a fire energy and then retreat, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. Let's attach a fire energy and then retreat. Alright, so again, fire energy to retreat. Discard this. I'll bring up one of the Moltres so we could get some damage on this other deck. And now I am going to use Inferno Wing. So this is the reason why I wanted those damage counters on the Moltres. I also have a Heatran, a Radiant Heatran that I'm thinking of adding to the deck, which also has this kind of... But right now we only have the Moltres and its Inferno Wings attack. If this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, this attack does 70 more damage, and this attack isn't affected by weakness. Alright, so 20, we do have damage counters, plus another 70, so that's 90, and the Quillfish is gonzo. We take a prize card, we add it to our hand, and it looks like we got Roseanne's Backup. Very versatile card. we bring up one of the Pokemon. Let's say we bring up Absol. Yeah, let's bring up Absol, I'm guessing. Or do I want to evolve the Dewott? Alright, let's bring up the Absol, and let's start with Team Absol's turn. We got a Pot Helmet. And I think we could use this on the Absol if we'd like to. Let's try and do that. So, let me think about this. Alright, so we're going to use the Pot Helmet here, and we're going to use Swirling Disaster for 1 energy. We're going to put some damage counters on ourselves, though, in the process. So, I'm going to put 2 on ourselves, and to all the opposing Pokemon from that Swirling Disaster attack, as you can see, does 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So, we move this to 30, we move this to 30, we move this to 30, let me find it, and we move this to 30 as well. Alright, there we go. Okay, so now Team Moltres draws a card. This is our hand. Okay, so we could choose... one or more of this card, but I think we're going to be finished. Our Moltres is really attacking them. So I'm going to actually just save this for later. I don't want to blot up my bench, nor do I want to search for an Ultra Ball, because I think we're fine. Okay, so I'm just going to go and attack again for 90 damage because of the Inferno Wings, plus 70 if there's damage counters already. So we're going to knock out the Absol. We still need to actually factor in the Pot Helmet. Let me think. So 90, 60... Wait, we're not knocked out yet, I think. So Pot Helmet is after weakness and resistance. 90 minus 30, 60. So we're at 80. So we're almost knocked out there. I thought we were knocked out. So we're at 80. There we go. That's 80. Alright. Now it's Team Absol's turn. Oh, look at that. We have another Absol. Alright, now what do I want to do? We don't have many cards. I need another Marnie. Another Marnie would be great. I'm actually not going to put that thing on. Oh, wait, yeah. It's going to have more. Okay, so now we really can't do anything else but Swirling Disaster. Alright, so we're going to do 10 again to each of the Pokemon on the opponent's side. Get this over. There we go. Let's get this to 40. There we go. Another 40 on this one. There we go. And a 40 on this one as well. If we do actually manage to knock out any of these with like that residual damage to the Pokemon, that still counts as a KO, so we would actually take a prize card. This Axew in particular is very close to being knocked out. Alright, so now let's go to Team Moltres again. Gutsy Pickaxe, we've seen this one before. Let's go and use it. Revelio, put that in our hand. Now we could also use a supporter. We haven't used a supporter. Let's use Gym Trainer. So draw 2 cards. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, draw 2 more cards. You'll just draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Alright, so now we can attack for the KO with Inferno Wings. So that we'll do is get rid of these. But Absol will go into the discard pile. So... And now we take a prize card for Team Team Moltres will take a prize card that fell off the table. And it's another Axew. Alright. Let's move up one of our Pokemon. Let's move up the Absol, I guess. This is the second Absol. I think I have 3 or 2. I forgot now. But there's another Absol. Let's draw a card for Team Absol. Okay, Suian Heavy Ball, super effective glasses are evolving the Oshawott into Dewott. We can't attack either, so let's just evolve just in case if we get something useful in the next part. Okay, so now we pass, and it's now to Team Moltres again. Looks like Team Moltres is going to take the win here. Just from a glance right now, let's draw a card, a Metal Energy. That could be useful in case we need the Heatran, or actually Ultra Evolution if we get knocked out, which I don't think we will. But, I think I'd move it to the Heatran. Alright, so Heatran, now we need 2 damage counters on it, so that'll get it to 60. Moltres is going to hit with its Inferno Wings, which will do 90, so I'm just going to put this down. This is supposed to be 1 or 10, so it's going to be 10 HP left. I don't have an... Oh wait, I do have a 90 damage counter, but it's not with me right now. It's on the other side of the desk, so that's going to say 10 HP, and turn is ended for Team Moltres. Let's go to Team Absol to see if they could pull something out crazy. Let's use Choi. So we draw 3 cards, which is useful. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we have a Basculin. Put that down. We don't have anything else to use. I really want to use the Marnie, but we'll have to wait. So I'm going to pass Team Moltres. Alright, Hisuian Heavy Ball really can't do anything else. We could attack for 90 to score the KO. This Absol is going into the discard pile. And let's pull one of our prize cards. It looks like we're down to our last prize card on that side. So Team Moltres is really kicking it into turbo mode right now. Alright, so now we move forwards one of our Pokemon. I say let's bring the Dewott just in case we get a Samurott. Or we could also bring Basculin. You like Basculin, we could bring out the Hisuian Basculegion, hopefully. Alright, so now I'm going to draw a card. It's a Dark Energy. And I think now I'm just going to play Marnie. Let's play Marnie. When in doubt, play Marnie. Alright, so we shuffle these to the bottom, and then we draw 5. They do the same. They draw 4. Alright. We put them at the bottom, then we shuffle a little bit, I guess. There we go. Now we draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 4. One more. 5. Alright, we did get the Hisuian Basculegion. Is there anything else we can do? Nope, sadly not. So we really need a water energy. That's what we need right now to use Grudge Dive, but I got Snow Water Energy. Alright, let's shuffle these to the bottom on this side as well. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our new hand for Team Moltres. Can't do anything, so let's pass. Alright, draw a card for Team Moltres. Professor's Research. We could play Professor's Research, I guess, because we don't really need... We're going to win this anyways, it looks like. Okay, so we're going to discard our hand and draw 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wow, look at that. We got all the Averies, it looks like. Alrighty, so now we're going to attack with Inferno Wings. That's going to do 90 damage. Even though we're a water type, we're not going to resist it, sadly. So 90 damage on the Basculegion. We're going to draw a card for Team Basculegion. We do get the Samurott. We don't have enough for the retreat cost, sadly, but we don't have any. We don't have any energy, sadly. So looks like we're just going to pass again, and this might be the last turn of the game. Let's see. Ultra Ball is going into the hand for Team Moltres. Again, we really can't do anything here except for attack. That's going to be 90 damage again because of the Inferno Wings and the damage counter already on the Moltres. And that's going to KO the Basculin, and Team Moltres wins the game. Alright. We take our last prize card on Team Moltres' side, and it's a Fighting Energy, and that's the game. Once you run out of your prize cards, you win, so there you go. Good game. So it was, let's see how many prize cards Team Basculin still had. 5, so we only KO'd one of the Pokemon. So it's really fun of the TCG. You're able to steamroll if you build up your cards correctly. So that's a game of the TCG. Thank you all for tuning in. Please be sure to stay tuned for more content, especially Pokemon content as well. And yeah, have a good day. Please stay cool out there. I know there's a heat wave sweeping across the Midwest. I think this is the heat wave that Glass Animals was singing about in their song, because it's in the middle of June and there's a heat wave and it's freaking everyone out. So hats off to Glass Animals for predicting this heat wave. Alright guys, everyone stay safe, please stay cool, please do something nice or someone get vaccinated, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I love you all. Have a good day.